Hi guys, I'm Natasha, realtor in Charleston, South Carolina. I have a quick video for you today. I am with Marisa. She is the owner and founder of A Little Staging Sells. She does beautiful work for my listings, and she is a certified stager and redesigner, and she is definitely a professional when it comes to making your space awesome. So I wanted her to talk briefly about how you can make your space feel a little bit better during this time. We're spending a lot of time at home, so she has a few tips for us. So I will hand it over to Marisa. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me, Natasha. It's always a pleasure to work with you, and I'm so glad to be able to share with some of your followers some of the information that I've used even in my own house during this time when we've been quarantined and kind of stuck inside, feeling not so great about our spaces. And the really good thing is that we're able to actually be home and work in them now instead of running around doing all of our other errands, wanting to get to our house but never getting a chance. So here's what I've done. I have rearranged, I have reduced, and I have refreshed. So the 3 R's. So what that means is sometimes we accumulate a lot of clutter and a lot of different tchotchkes and things in our living space. Ideally, I'm talking about our living room. This is where we spend a majority of our time. And so I have gone in and I've reduced some of the things that have just kind of piled up in that living space. The second thing that I've done is I've rearranged. So we get tired of living in the same way all the time. And, we're always wanting to try to mix it up and try things new. So here's a really neat trick. I like to go and look in other parts of my house that I don't spend as much time in. And a lot of times we have put things in those spaces, i.e. spare bedrooms that are used for guest rooms. And I like to find pieces in there that maybe have just been sitting there for a while and haven't really been appreciated. And so I like to bring them out into the living space and start enjoying those. And that's where we refresh. So it brings in a refreshing sort of feel in those spaces when you're able to just bring in new things, because we can't go shopping.
Right.
We can't go buy new things. So you go shopping in your own house and go in those places where you don't go very often. Another thing I like to do is to make sure that I bring in a little pop of color. The 60-30-10 rule is make everything kind of neutral, the 60%. 30% of it is, a bigger color, but not as bright of a color. And then the 10% would be your bright pop color. So don't be afraid to try new colors. Go in that spare bedroom. I guarantee you've got some pillows on there that weren't your favorite then, but might become your favorite now.
If you were to give somebody advice on like 2 or 3 things to order off of Amazon to maybe like add to the space in the 10% or 30% for the pops of color, what do you think are good kind of safe options?
Okay, so here is another basic rule, and I tell all of my redesign clients this, and I use it in my staging every single time. I want something white, something black, and something green in every space. So as you're looking at Natasha and I's space, what do you see behind us? You see a faux botanical is what we call them, but hers might be real. Mine's definitely faux, but it's a little fig tree, So I want something green in every space because what that does is it brings life. It brings the outside in. It makes you feel good. The other thing is I want something black in every space. What black does, it's actually neutral. Bronze and blacks are neutrals. And what I like about those colors is that they bring depth to a room. And then what I want about white is just pure, it's beautiful, it's clean, it's crisp. So something in every room with those 3 colors are very helpful. And usually the white, I like to bring in like an accessory. I like to bring in like a coral, a faux coral, a vase that's white. Something like that. And your black could be something as simple as a lamp. It could be something as simple as like a magazine or a book that's laying on the table, or a tray even that I love to use trays in every room because trays are anchors to space it, anchors. So I put a tray down, I'll put a magazine down, I'll put a faux botanical and maybe a white vase. And you have this beautiful little vignette that just kind of brightens your mood when you see it. If you go on our Facebook and Instagram, you'll see those all over our staging and redesigns.
And what's your Instagram handle?
We are at A Little Staging Sales for both.
Perfect. Okay, well, I'll make sure to tag you. Thank you so much. This is great. I think people are going to love it, and I appreciate the tips. I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Natasha. Talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Bye.